Hello and welcome to PB Break. So this is episode 2. We're getting into a lot of the nerdy topics today. We got some fantasy going on. We actually do not have our peanut butter sandwiches today, unfortunately. We
Don't lie
already
to them.
ate them.
Don't lie to them.
We already ate them.
Yeah,
and that's because I made a mistake.
D'Angelo fucked up his recording.
Yeah, I accidentally recorded the first 10 minutes of this podcast the first time through without turning on Hunter's audio. So the chat couldn't hear him, the video couldn't hear him. But now it's fixed, and now everyone can hear Hunter. Yeah. So hello, Hunter. How does it feel to be able to be heard?
Oh, feels great. I thought that I was heard this entire time. Now I feel stupid.
Well, it's fine, because we had a lot to go over. So something I wanted to say the first time, but I never got to. I quit my job to become a full-time streamer. Yay! So support me.
Hooray!
I actually quit my job to get a different job. But if I could do
DoorDash.
Yeah. If I could do this, that'd be epic. So drop a like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell.
Definitely, if you like this content, I'm down for making more. This has been nothing but a blast. The first time I did it, so doing it a second time with my best buddy D'Angelo just makes it all that better.
All right, so Hunter, do you want to explain to us what the premise of tonight is?
Today, we're going to be delving into the realm of fantasy and magic.
Cringe.
With a little bit of arcane kind of dipped in there, you know, if you know what I mean. No, but we're going to be talking about a bunch of nerdy stuff. We're going to be talking about the recent TV show to give D'Angelo some sort of topic, so I'm not just talking at him for the next 2 hours.
The League of Legends TV show is epic.
The League of Legends TV show Arcane. We will get to that and we will talk about it. But right now, I've got a question for you, D'Angelo.
What's that?
What is your stance about the hit game that everybody plays? Whoever lives under their mother's basement plays. It was published. It was shown a little bit in Stranger Things, but what are your thoughts on Dungeons and Dragons?
That's a lot of exposition for a shit game. I find it really boring. I can't play it, and it doesn't hold my attention that well.
Oh well, I get that.
I'm also sick.
Right, and it sucks because being a nerd growing up, been playing pretend out in my backyard when I was a little kid. Dungeons and Dragons kind of spoke to me as a game, and I've kind of loved it ever since because it can be cringy, but if you were playing it with the right people, it's some of the best times that you will ever spend hanging out with people, in my opinion.
You see, I feel like a big portion of why the game doesn't make sense to me is because I have a very small attention span and I need constant action going on to keep me entertained.
Right.
And Dungeons and Dragons has a big imaginative prospect to it. So
right.
I can't just do that. I don't have an imagination. It's
right.
Almost non-existent. But I understand the appeal for people who do like it. So the shit game thing earlier was, you know.
What kind of sucked? What kind of ruined the game for you and probably a lot of people like you is that.
Sorry.
Is that you barely scratched the surface of the game. Like when I used to DM. Well, I still do, but I used to do it for D'Angelo and a bunch of my other friends back when I first started D&D, and really started to get into it. I think that was a good 6-7 years ago, something like that, and and it was weird to me because I've noticed, like, I've heard about this game, I've played it a little bit, and I thought it was so much fun. So I wanted to have my friends kind of join in because I figured they'd be kind of the same way with how we would get along with like shit like League of Legends. I suspected like, hey, maybe they'll enjoy this. But what the problem was is that you guys were only playing from like level 1 to I think maybe either level 2 or 3 that you guys ever really got to. And the game really gets going once you get to level 5 through 10, because that's when you get that extra stuff like third level spells that which are like fireball and counter spell, and uh you get extra attacks, extra feats, extra abilities at your disposal, and at that point you've kind of you're tanky enough that you can take a couple of hits and not feel like you're about to die, and you can fight some of the more bigger monsters and have that kind of feel that almost every single Dungeons and Dragons like campaign is known for. Like it's known for like having their intricate stories and their excellent characters and whatnot. And maybe that's the writer in me talking, but I've always enjoyed the storytelling aspect of the entire thing.
And before I get on to my response, thank you, Brianna Owo, for the tier 1 sub. Alright.
God damn it.
Now, so basically what I gather from that is to get to the fun part, you gotta make it through the muck of the early game. And
Well, yes and no. Because if I'm the DM, I can just say you guys are level 5 and you can start there. You don't have to start at level 1 each time. It's just, it makes sense because it gives your characters a like more growth of what they're trying to do.
And like, you get more attached to them.
Yes, exactly. And you'll get more invested into the story, so you kind of have to be there for the beginning and kind of, if in your sense, ride it out until the very end, when it ends up being a big what's the word I'm looking for? Till it gets that big payoff.
Is the payoff worth it? I don't know. But the one thing that is very interesting about the game to me, even if the game itself isn't, is the dynamic between another two types of players. And those two types of players are the ones who take the game really seriously, and then the ones who want to make a bunch of jokes and have a comedic interaction.
I see that a lot, and it got me to kind of realize, like, yeah, our friend group with how we are, we can't do it because we have some serious people mixed in with some people who just want to fuck around. And I guess fuck around isn't the right word I would use. More like not play the game as serious as the serious players would. Like, I've had things like people becoming frogs and going in their pockets. I had some NSFW stuff happen, and I just remembered about the cheeseburger helmet.
Oh god, the cheeseburger helmet. That's actually a creation of me back during my fat age.
Oh, jeez, that's crazy. That was like freshman year of high school.
Yeah, I was a bit of a chubster and a bit of a cringer too. So, Hunter, do you care to tell them the story of how the PB helmet came? Not the PB helmet, the cheeseburger helmet came to be the CB helmet?
Sure. So, back when I first started playing Dungeons and Dragons, and before I even tried to get my friends to play it, I asked them in the very beginning, I'm like, hey, guys, can we try and play some Dungeons and Dragons or something? And you guys were like, sure, why not? It sounds interesting. So, I got all set up, and I had everything as I wanted it to be, and then I had you guys all introduce your characters, and already it started off bad, because everyone was already not really taking it seriously, kind of just enjoying each other's company rather than being there to play the game, which is totally fine. But it threw me off because I've never done this stuff before. But when you introduced your character, I was floored because of the sort. I want to say cringe, but like you were doing what you're supposed to do.
Okay, so like
you
because
you
I
had
was a
like
little gnome dude, a little
yeah
gnome dude cleric. You talk like this, like
Yeah, and
Kamatotsu from Naruto.
and so obviously they were joking around, and like I was happy that they were at least trying to play the game. But then it got to a point where I was like, I need to give these guys like something to work towards, because like if they have nothing to work towards, they're not going to want to play. So I started naming off like random goals that they could have, like unlimited riches, ultimate power, and D'Angelo decides a cheeseburger helmet.
Bad idea.
And I was like, all right, sure, a cheeseburger helmet. You guys are on the quest for the cheeseburger helmet, and you immediately got so engaged as your face lit up as a kid on Christmas. His face would light up when they go downstairs Christmas morning to see like all the presents under the tree. It was a sight to behold. and you and so then the rest of the game you were like, I'm gonna look for the cheeseburger helmet. Is it under this rock? Do these guys have it? I'm gonna fight them. And I was like, holy shit, he does not care about this game
And
at all.
wasn't Drew like a really raging barbarian man who just like went off of strength alone?
Mm-hmm.
And like, who kept trying to have sex with people?
You.
Oh yeah.
That was a totally different campaign.
No, I think that was the same campaign. I think
Nope.
it was different.
Nope, because
That was
that's
the
when you were
Tiefling campaign.
Rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you were the Tiefling Rogue. And my God, I did not handle that well.
No, weren't we like stuck in a cave for like the whole first half of the play session?
You were stuck in a cave.
All of the group was.
No, you're right. No, you were all stuck in the cave, and you guys just couldn't make the necessary checks to get out.
It should have made it easier to get out of that cave.
Probably, in hindsight, I could have done that a lot better. Like starting you guys off at level 5, so you guys had like that sense of power that you kind of want, and kind of base the entire campaign around fighting rather than what I wanted it to do was with story. Which again kind of segues into the two different types of game players who play D&D, which are the serious and the people who want to play it for fun. And again, that's not really the right words I would use. But I would definitely say that as far as Dungeons and Dragons is concerned, I think it's better to have the game up to whoever really wants to play it. Everyone should at least play it once. Play it once, see how you like it. If you don't like it, that's whatever. I just know that for me, it was an awesome experience, and still continues to be an amazing experience years later. And
or you could spend that time grinding the Smash grind. You gotta become a crazy fighting game player so that everyone knows your reflexes and reads are better than everyone else.
Oh yeah, and so that everyone also knows that I get 0 pussy.
Hey.
There's some girls who will really like go down on a guy if they know the difference between a D20 and a fucking dodecahedron spin down.
God damn.
Because there is a difference, you know. The spin downs, which are the same shape as a D20, are more made to to spin from 20, and all the numbers are connected from 19 all the way down to 1 on the very end, where it spins all the way down to the very last number. So you can only move it once. You don't have to look for the number. On a d20, each side of a d20 equals 21, no matter which way you look at it. So that's always a good way to kind of differentiate the two, I think.
And listen, that
Don't
was
quote me
saying
on that.
something about getting pussy. Peculiar, isn't it?
There are some girls who really like a guy who can tell a story or play a character.
Okay,
Some girls
man.
are into that stuff.
Okay, man. Keep telling yourself that.
No, you're fuck you.
I'm just playing. All
right.
I think this
Leading on to the next segment.
In this segment,
D'Angelo,
I don't even know what this
I
is.
challenge you.
Oh god.
I challenge you to a magic duel.
Okay, what is this magic duel?
This magic duel is as follows. Both of us choose a certain type of magical power, be it elemental, be it some sort of spiritual or anything. And you pick one and I pick one, and then we debate to see who wins.
Alright, I'll take One Punch Man's power.
You'll take One Punch Man's power?
Yes, sir.
Well, damn, that's kind of... Well, what kind of power would you consider that to be?
If you hit something, it dies.
God, that's very uninteresting.
Okay, I'll pick something more interesting. I feel like you could do a lot with that. So we each get to pick one magical ability, and then if we were to fight with the magical abilities, who would win?
If we were wizards that were using these magic abilities, who would win?
Alright, I've got some tricks up my sleeve here.
Alright, let's hear it.
I'm gonna have to go with... You know what? My special thing is teleportation. I can just fucking go wherever I want. Pew, 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 pew.
You just teleport wherever you want to go?
Yes.
Any sort of elemental affinity to that, or is it just like you just are in one place and gone the next?
It's like a psychic feeling to it. Like whenever you teleport, it's like a pink wisp. You know?
Okay.
Okay. And then you appear in the place where you wanted to be.
All right. For me, I think mine is going to be an area around me that surrounds me entirely is like a dome of nullify magic. Yeah, I'm thinking really big brained here. I'm thinking something super big brained. So like,
so your power is to destroy the other person's power within a dome, within like an allotted range.
Yeah, within a range around me.
Okay, so that means this is simple. You simply win because are we assuming that when we have our wizard fight? Okay, wait. Actually, no. How big is the range? How big is the range?
I would say it's about. What's a good?
See the problem with both of our powers. See the problem with both of our powers in situation is neither of them give like especially if we're ever going to interact with each other in this situation. Me would teleport until I got into your range, and then we're essentially at a fist fight at that point.
Yeah, so you better take a few points into strength if you know what I mean.
Bro, are we not using our real bodies here?
No. Yes.
We are using our real bodies?
Yes.
Okay, then you would win that one.
I think that makes this interesting.
Yeah, you just win that one because as I'm teleporting, if I'm not allowed to use any other weapons, then I couldn't stay out of your range forever.
Maybe you shouldn't have picked a fucking power that only affects yourself, buddy.
Yeah, you just win. Because you're bigger than me. So you win the fist fight. We just put ourselves into a fist fight.
Okay, round 2. I didn't expect it to go that quickly. All right.
You pick it first, so you can't counter me this time. Fucking counter picker.
I'm gonna think something. I'm gonna think of something a bit more broad because I think that kind of set the stage of like maybe we shouldn't have something like that. So my power I think is going to be cat. I have the power to drop lightning bolts, like a consecutive amount of lightning bolts to all fire on a single point that I can see.
Okay, so you get lightning bolts. Oh god.
Yeah, I can call lightning down from the sky, if anywhere I can see within range. So
Alright.
if I can see you, you're fucking pow, smited.
My power
Yeah.
is simply invisibility. I will simply sneak up on you and beat the shit
Okay.
out of you without you
Okay.
being able to see me.
All right. All right. Then counterpoint to that. I said I can at a point in my range, so I can just fucking I can put it in at a point where I think you are and just strike it all there, and I can just keep doing that until I eventually find you, because I don't think that you're faster than lightning.
Right, but how are you gonna find me? How are you gonna strike the right area?
I figured that this wizard duel was in like in an arena.
It's in an arena. Okay, I was expecting like
Would you like to change your power, or would you like to keep with yours? No,
how
with
big
this
is a
new
lightning
knowledge.
bolt?
As big as the regular lightning bolt would be.
Oh, that's
So like
fucking
so like
massive. That's the whole
so
arena. You would get
no
hit too.
what do you mean? No, it's not.
A normal lightning bolt would hit the whole ass arena.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't fucking. If it's a big enough arena, I'm saying like it's something like almost like a little smaller than a baseball stadium, like
If it's
on the baseball field, I should say, not a stadium, like a baseball field, like a little smaller than that.
I think you have a
A
worse
singular
perception of lightning.
lightning bolt would not fucking destroy an entire baseball field's worth of do a baseball field's worth of damage. I don't think you know what a lightning bolt is, dude.
Alright, alright. So you can.
It's about the size of a person, I think. Maybe a bit bigger. The size of your average person, maybe a bit bigger, is how big a lightning bolt is.
Okay. I'll take the Monado Arts.
Okay. Okay. What does
So-
that entail?
So, whenever you would lightning bolt me, I just enable shield art and take very little damage from it. And then when I get up to you, I could turn on Buster to beat the shit out of you, and I can use speed to get close to you. Alright, so I shield the lightning bolts and I speed to get up to you, and then I Buster to beat the ever living shit out of you and smash to kill you.
Okay,
Free.
but how but how fast would you say is your speed? Is your speed Monado power faster than a lightning bolt?
So how many consecutive lightning bolts can you shoot off in a zone? And can you move the zone as time goes on, or can you just like boom, boom, boom? and then you have to suddenly boom, boom, boom?
it's literally as simple, D'Angelo, as me pointing into a spot and then lightning bolts fucking shoot at it.
So okay, god damn, you picked some OP ass shit.
I just thought of something that sounded epic.
All right, all right. God damn it, I can't think of anything good. Nothing beats this power. All right, I take One Punch Man.
Oh, god damn, you weren't kidding. You are an original.
I was gonna use lightning in my power, and then you're like lightning bolts. I'm like shit.
You can do the same fucking thing. Well, not really the same thing, but you can try and like do something different. Like you can.
Oh, I got it. I got it. I
Okay.
got it.
You can shoot lightning bolts from your hands.
I'm gonna make my power to when I look at someone, it coats us both in large amounts of oil, except my skin is oil resistant.
So your power is you're in like in One Piece, you're like an oil person.
Yeah, so I oil us both up, and then your lightning hits me, but then my oil's protecting me while your oil, which is also connected to me, is burning you.
You know, that's not bad. That's not bad actually. That could be some strategy because then
It's
I
like
gotta be
bungee gum,
careful.
but with like it's
Because then
flammable.
because then I gotta keep track of like
Oil's
where the
not
puddles where
flammable.
the where the, yeah they are, yeah it is.
Oh yeah, it is.
But do lightning bolts ignite it? I'm almost certain they do because it's just under extreme heat.
Yeah, unless lightning is a lot of movement.
Okay, I'll honestly I'm gonna say I'm gonna give that one to you because it like honestly the only way of me actually killing you is if I hit you when you're not all oily. And if you're just gonna be oil the entire time, there's no way I could beat that. So
Oil man.
I'll give that one to you, and we'll go into our final round
All right.
where where we are going to think of a power, and then we are both going to say it at the exact same time. So then there's no one who gets to do uh, any sort of cheating or countering of any sort.
Okay,
Okay.
I got mine already.
Um, mine. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got mine.
All right, 3, 2,
Two,
1.
one.
Fireball shooting
Spirit
hands.
chain.
What's
So
spirit
what?
change?
Spirit chain is mine. My soul and your soul are linked, and whenever I take damage, you take damage. But I'm a masochist.
Okay, and mine is fireball hands. So I shoot fireballs out of my hands at a high velocity. Now, how do you connect your spirit chain, Hunter?
I'm gonna say, to be fair, I have to like throw it out, kind of like throwing a rope at you.
Okay.
But the rope just needs to like touch you, just needs to touch your like pinky toe or something. It just needs to touch you very briefly, and it links us.
All right. So, the only way I could win this battle.
As if your reactions are faster than mine, and they are.
But how do you win? Let's just say, like, you
I
do get the spirit
I
chain link. What's just
yeah.
stopping me from not attacking you?
I attack myself.
You attack yourself. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
and I'm a masochist in this scenario. So I like getting hurt. You don't.
So would it take less to kill me than it would to kill you?
Yes.
So it all just depends on if I can kill you with the fireball attacks before you hit the spirit chain link. I think I could do it. One fireball straight to the face.
What does chat think? Can I get a couple people who wins this final round
I
to be
definitely
the
would.
undecided wizard
Alright.
victor?
I definitely think it would, because I think that when something is spirit, Hunter sus for real. Yeah, agree. He wants to link
What do you
souls
mean
with
I'm
a good dude.
sus?
He would
What
wants
do
to
you
link
mean I'm
souls with
sus?
a dude.
You would bond souls with a dude.
So I think I'd win because when things are, like linked with spirits in fantasy, they're usually slower than super fast, speedy fireballs. So I
How?
think my fireballs would
Okay.
shoot
Let's talk
faster.
about this. Let's talk about this realistically, and I'm saying, don't say it's like comes out like immediately. Tell me how fast your fireball would be going.
Let's just say like a professional baseball player pitch speed.
So like a little over 100 miles an hour, a little around there, like an
Like
average of
90.
100 miles an hour.
It's like
Yeah, or
90.
like 90.
Fire.
Okay.
David Firescott says fireball is faster than a rope throw.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's how it worked. I'm not saying that's how fast it goes. Mine goes probably slow. I would say slower than a fastball from a major league baseball player, but I wouldn't say that mine is slow. Like it's like slow enough that if I were to sit there and just throw a rope, It'd be something quicker than that. Kind of think like you played Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah, like
Think of it like Scorpion's uh,
get over
chain.
here.
Yeah. Did you know that that was actually like that was just off of a whim? They just thought that would seem cool, and they put that into the game.
Well, they made a good decision.
Yeah, they did. I also didn't know that in the first Mortal Kombat, I think it was the first Mortal Kombat, that they took pictures of the people and then pixelated them.
What?
Like there were actual people dressed up like that, and
Oh yeah,
they
it's because like the technology was whack.
right. I don't know. I assumed that it was like that they did like really detailed sprite work. I didn't know that it was like they literally just took a picture of a
It's a
dude throwing a
JPEG.
punch. Yeah, it was a JPEG of a dude throwing a punch.
UX says it depends how far apart we are, because we also have to take into account our aim too.
How big is your fireball? Like, is it the
Honestly,
size? Is it the size of a baseball?
I was
or is it
assuming
the
it'd
size
also
of
be like
a-
the size of a baseball. It's like a really
Okay.
condensed, like hot ball of.
And then if it hits something, it like explodes, or does it just like engulf that little spot wherever the baseball would hit into flames?
It's like a tiny explosion. It's like boom, and then like everything around it starts melting.
If you're next to each other, it can't react to a chain.
Uh, so it all depends on distance, and since we're in this coliseum, I'd assume we'd be starting at like
I like equal distant from like the walls to each other.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say something around there. I would also say that my rope is about the size of a baseball, maybe smaller. So having to throw that and you having to, it's like you throwing baseballs at me while I throw golf balls at you.
Yeah, and if Eric says if you're farther, it would be a lot harder to hit with the chain.
Well, of course. But we're not asking for which we're not asking for like super conditional stuff. And I mean, we've kind of boiled it down to that in that aspect. But like, in your opinion, who do you think would win this if it was me, like me right now, and D'Angelo right now? Uh, we're in a like a stadium that's about the size of a like a good half the size of a baseball stadium, like a not a stadium, a field, and I had a hitbox that was the size of a golf ball, and you had a hitbox that was the size of a baseball.
Yeah, he just asked as well. If you're wait, and as well if you missed your hook, do you retract your chain?
Um, no, it would be like how it is for fucking Scorpion.
Okay.
Well, you really don't need to be a hater though, Eric.
Alright, so I think Iraq has me winning this one.
Yeah, I guess that. Uh, yeah. I mean, I really think my spirit chain idea is really interesting, and I feel like the chat isn't being very gamer with me about this one, but if that's what they say, I just have to give it to you. D'Angelo wins the magic duel.
Dub, what do I get in return? Your Twitch Prime sub? Yeah, drop a Twitch Prime sub right now. Subscribe to your YouTube channel. Ring that notification bell. All for me winning this epic rap battle of history.
True, it is an epic rap battle of history.
Alright, speaking of
Alright,
epic rap
so-
battles of history. This new show just came out. It's called Arcane. And it's
I like
a League
that-
of
I like-
Legends show.
That was a good segue. I like that.
It's a League of Legends show starring a bunch of characters that I did not give a shit about until the show came out, and now I give a shit about them. So, the show is a critique on elitism and honestly, I want to say capitalism too, but I'm not going to get into it.
We're not here to be political. We're here to look at the cool pictures that the show provides, or at least in my aspect. Me being an animation major, this shit is fucking amazing.
So
With the almost painted looking characters, but then still having that like with that whole 3D of depth and space, and then the mixture of 2D aspects and 3D aspects makes it so visually appealing to look at.
and can we just take a moment to appreciate that Imagine Dragons actually made a good song?
Hey, when they partner up with League of Legends, they kind of slap.
That's the only time they slept though, and it makes me sad to say that
Warriors was pretty good.
yeah.
Is that Imagine Dragons?
Yes, it was. Warriors
Yeah.
and this one were both Imagine Dragons. But yeah, League of Legends makes Imagine Dragons good.
So, what are your thoughts on the first? I should get into this before we talk about the show. Spoilers for people who haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen Arcane yet already, I would suggest you take the what is it, like 2 hours it is to watch the entire thing?
Yeah.
Hour and a half?
Yeah,
No.
2 hours is
Yeah,
about.
like 2 hours to watch all 3 episodes. Leave this stream. Don't cut. Like, honestly, we're gonna post this later, so you can come. You can always come back. But I don't. I want to stress this enough. This is a good enough show that I don't want to spoil it for people.
Yeah, I agree. And the implementation of the characters is really nice because if you're a League of Legends like player already, it's like, oh, I know that one, or oh, is this one this one? But like, even if you don't play League, you can still be into the show.
All I'm saying is that Little Echo is my little homie.
Little Echo, bro, it's so sad when he had to see his like parent figure
Dude.
die.
That's literally set. Literally, that whole thing sets up for fucking. It sets up for Jinx. It sets up for Vi. It sets up for Caitlyn even because then she helps Vi, and then it also sets up for Echo because he'll be
Wait, was Caitlyn the enforcer that took Vi away?
no.
Oh, okay.
Caitlyn was like her and Jace are like friends or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But she's gonna collide with Vi in the next 3 episodes, and it sets up for Echo too because that whole tragedy. He wants to rewind time to save everybody. So then he makes the time machine.
Oh, okay.
And it also for Singed as well because everyone thought that he died in the explosion, or I'm almost certain he doesn't.
Well, obviously he can't. And
Right.
the speculation that Warwick is
Is Vander?
Vander.
Yeah. It's true. That's literally, if that happens, that's going to be literally the craziest thing.
because I was like, oh, is this blonde kid Warwick? Because they're gonna give him the
It's serum.
the serum, but it wasn't.
No. It's probably going to be Vander. He's probably going to they're probably going to bring him back. I thought it was going to be Dr. Mundo at first.
Yeah, I was thinking Warwick the whole time because it's on. I don't even think Mundo is on, is he?
I don't remember where he's from. I'm almost certain he's either from Piltover or Zon. I'm almost certain.
Dr. Mundo. I can look it up.
Look it up real quick.
Where is Dr. Mundo from?
I swear, if it's gonna say something weird like Freljord, I'm gonna be like, what? Or like Ionia.
League of Legends Dr. Mundo wiki. Okay, give me lore. I don't want his fucking patch history.
That's the first time that I heard D'Angelo want to hear about lore.
League lore is dope. Trivia? Question mark. Oh yeah, no, the Madman is on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could see some Dr. Mundo in the show.
I'm and Twitch probably.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
what I was thinking. Like they're experimenting on a rat, I'm like, there's no way they're making Twitch right now. Warwick was experimented on.
Yeah, I mean they might just take Vander's body and keep messing with it. They might bring him back to life. I don't know.
Warwick's Jackson said that Warwick's theme played when Vander like drank the serum and went nutso.
Exactly. So it's and a lot of his in game he has in game chat with Vi and Jinx, and it sounds a lot like Vander. I don't remember exactly what the quotes are, but
Ooh, that's epic.
I know. I can I really enjoyed the what they're doing here with Arcane though so far. It is the coolest thing. It just sucks that they don't want to mess with their actual game and make League of Legends good.
I
They're
didn't
just
know that Victor and Jace interacted. I guess it makes sense because they're both really into hex tech stuff in the game.
yeah.
And
I didn't realize that Jace was the pioneer of hex tech though.
like he made it.
I didn't know he was like the guy who's like, yeah, magic and science. I'm gonna do that. That sounds epic.
It's like Jace is a character that you just wouldn't care about if they didn't flesh it out like this.
True. Like I didn't give a fuck about him
And like
before.
Piltover and Zon is like the regions that you wouldn't give a shit about if they didn't do this.
True.
Yeah.
Because like,
Ionia's gotten everything that it needs.
oh, Ionia got that fucking Zed and that Zed and Shen comic that had Jin and Kane in it, and like and Akali and all of them from Ionia.
Plus they have
Yo-
Yasuo and Irelia.
Yasuo and Irelia. Yasuo is going to be like the pioneer for the new game that they're like one of the pioneers for the new game that they're coming out with. What was it called? Blade of the like it was called like the Ruined King or something.
I thought that was Viego.
No, they're coming out with a game also called Ruined King, and it's gonna be gonna be like an RPG thing.
Oh, that's gonna
Yeah,
be
and
fun.
and because like they've been setting up for that shit already. Like they had Yasuo meet up with Ari, so then they would canonically be in Bilgewater for Ruined King. I knew that animation team was gonna go far though. When I saw their reveals for like the Legends of Runeterra stuff, uh, when like when they did like teasers for places and new expansions and stuff coming out and new characters,
Oh,
they would
stop,
do like
stop. My recording just ended. Okay, I just restarted it.
Oh, okay.
That's weird. Okay. What do you say that thought?
It's the Legends of Runeterra animations that they did for every kind of new character, like new characters that came out or something, were always really cool to watch, and they brought a lot of life into the characters that like some of us have like grown up with. So it was really interesting to see them do stuff like this where they're doing 45-minute long episodes of stuff. And literally I was watching it on Friday when it first came out, and I was amazed because I immediately just started the episode and already it was over. I'm like I was sucked into their story so much that I didn't notice time passing by. What I didn't know was that Jinx's name before everything. I didn't know her name wasn't actually Jinx. I thought it was I didn't know it was Powder.
Yeah, Jinx is like a play on how she is.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until they said it in the show, and I was like, that makes so much sense.
The tragedy of Jinx is my favorite part. Just like everything that led up to her killing like 3 of the people she cared about the most.
Oh my gosh.
And then turning to the bad guy side.
Oh, I liked that. I liked the whole 3rd episode. The whole 3rd episode as a whole, as a entire thing was amazing because it really gave us like like the psychotic side of Jinx before it was actually like really shown. When she was told that she couldn't go with Vi, she freaked out, and it was crazy how she freaked out. Like it was scary almost. But I was like I need to keep watching. I need to see where this goes. But that's kind of how it started, and it was so crazy, and I loved it. And then when everything happened in the third episode, and then she went up to Vi and she's like, "Hi, I did it. It worked. Uh, my new thing worked." And Vi was like, "You killed everybody. What the fuck?" And Jinx was like, I didn't mean to. I was trying to help." And you really could feel the humility and like the, I guess maybe not humility isn't the right word. The desperation for companionship and and more respect from her sister, that Jinx just was like breaking down, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the show, D'Angelo?
You got it right on the head, bro. The show's cracked.
The way they play with colors, the way they allude to a lot of different characters that aren't like being presently shown in this series. Like, we got to see Heimerdinger, Victor, Jace, Caitlyn, Jinx. I think I saw like stuff for Tom Kench somewhere in there. Just like funny little references, but like, just the little stuff like that made me feel so happy that I wasted like a good portion of my life playing League of Legends, that I know what all of this stuff is.
Yeah. Yeah. So topic covered.
Damn, I thought that we would have talked about that more. Jeez, we've only been really streaming for an hour.
Yeah.
Jeez, I should have had more topics, honestly.
My what's it called? My my space on my computer is full, so I'm just gonna have to take the stream off of Twitch to upload it. They showed the Krug?
Okay.
They showed the Krug?
They showed the Krug? Yeah, they did. They did show the Krug.
Where? When?
In like the first episode, I think, when it's in like a little cage. I know, it's so brilliant. It's so brilliant. I definitely think that all the hype behind it really made it kind of really good, especially since like all of this stems from a fucking game that they made back in 2009. Riot Games is what it is today because they made a game back in 2009 that took off in a crazy direction. Now they've got a fighting game coming out. They have a shooting game, Valorant, out. Teamfight Tactics, Arcane, the TV show, comics, Legends of Runeterra, and like other shit that they've got coming out. They've got a fucking rhythm game. They have a fucking rhythm game coming out in less than a week.
Oh, for real? Oh, and they just announced a new, like, the Ziggs game.
Yeah, that's a rhythm game.
That's a rhythm game?
Yes.
Shit.
I know. Did you not watch the entire thing?
I did. I'm the one who sent it.
Yeah, so how do you not know it was a rhythm game?
I was really high when I was watching it.
Oh my god. D'Angelo, why I oughta. Okay, so moving on to the last topic that we have here already, which again astounds me. I don't know why it took us only an hour to go through all 5 of these topics. I assumed they would go longer. Well, I guess I assumed that the wizard duel was going to take longer, but we were too big brained for it.
And small brains.
Wait, no, I'm stupid. We have 2 more left. Oh my god. I was literally looking here. I was like, we didn't go through all these, did we? No, we didn't. Okay, so moving on. We're going to talk about, to keep in theme of the fantasy, we talked about Dungeons and Dragons. We talked about magic and wizardry. So now we're going to kind of shift it to a more broader spectrum. What's your favorite RPG? or do you not
Oh,
have one? What are your thoughts on
yeah.
RPGs
This
as a
was my.
whole?
This is my. The one I said I was going to answer earlier, and you were probably going to hate my answer. My favorite RPG is Dokapon Kingdom. And it counts. You can't tell me it doesn't count because you play as a class and you have weapons and magic and it's a party board game that where
It
you
is
piss
the
off your
word.
friends and it is the most fun shit you'll ever play.
It's. I will say this. It is real. It is an enjoyable time when you have the most amount of people. When it's not like when it's maximum 4 people, because it's a party game, so it's more fun with more people. Because I've ever only played it as like a 1v1, and that is not a game to 1v1 somebody in, because
Oh,
it's
it
so
is.
hard, because you can, once you win once in Dokapon Kingdom, you keep winning, and you keep dragging down the other character. So, like the other player, I mean. So you're sitting there and you're like gaining cities, getting a ton of money, and like killing every baddie that you come across, while the other guy is taking penalty after penalty, dying and waiting 2 turns before they can do anything, putting them even farther behind.
And that's what the Darkling is for, just to reset it all. You can reset everything and all the progress they've made. You can take it away from them, and that's the most satisfying thing ever when it happens.
If
And
if you can, you
it's
know
a
what,
it's a
you know
game of
what,
making enemies, and you
you know
can.
what is is there like a uh port for fucking Dokapon Kingdom or something? I'm almost certain there probably is.
Are you saying like to play it on PC?
Yeah,
Pro-
get a couple friends together and play it.
Or we
What
could
say
just
you?
play it on my PS2.
We tried. We couldn't fucking find it.
I found it.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, the only problem that I have with all of us being together, Dig, is that people aren't going to want to sit down and play it.
We could find the right group.
I'm almost certain I would rather do it in the comfort of my own home, though.
Yeah. Too bad. Not home.
Apparently, it's on the Wii. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
It's a Wii game too. That's what I used to play it on. Before I owned it. I used to get it from the Grable Library. Back when I lived in that area.
Oh my god. People have got there's a way that we can actually play Dokapon online with people.
That would be sick.
It looks like it.
Let me
Let's go.
explain Dokapon to everyone. So
Right.
Dokapon is a giant party board game campaign that takes hours to finish. Like 20 plus. You're gonna have to play multiple play sessions. I don't know, maybe even 40 plus. There's a lot of content there. And also depends on how cooperative your group is or versus how competitive they are. And the whole point of the game is have the most money at the end, win. And how do you get the most money? So you're a character and you have a class. You can be, at the beginning, you can be a warrior, a thief, or a magician. And then you unlock other classes like cleric, or I think Dragon Slayer is one of them. But you can level up your class and you get new gear and your character has levels. And the goal is to beat bosses to take over cities that are spaces on the board. So if you go to a space that's a city and it has a monster on it, you defeat the monster and you own that space now. And you get worth based on the town's worth. And the town is worth usually way more than you could carry in your pocket. But benefits of having a town is you can sleep there for free. You can collect taxes from the town. You can invest in their towns to level up so that taxes give you more later. And they also become worth more in the grand scheme. So your money is very important in this game. And it's also really easy to lose towns because Darklings exist, and that's for the player that's in last. It's like a big comeback mechanic that like resets everyone's progress, except in levels. The one thing you can't reset is levels. So, uh, yeah, it's just a great time overall. Very good, and the rich get richer. Man,
I just realized
Pokemon.
I'm on r/Game Grumps looking at how to port forward, or not port forward, but how to play Dokapon with friends online.
JonTron fans. Wait, you said JonTron?
No, fucking Game
Grain
Grumps.
Grumps.
JonTron stands. Where are you at?
JonTron's stupid. Man's actually a man child. Uh, yeah, that's my favorite RPG.
Okay.
I forgot to mention the combat. The combat is
Rock, paper, scissors.
rock, paper. So it starts as an actual game of rock, paper, scissors. You get into a battle either with an NPC or another player, and you get to pick a card, and it determines whether you're first or second to attack. And once you start your attack, you play rock, paper, scissors. Essentially, attackers have the choices of their special move, their attack, their strike, or their magic. And the special move is class based. Attack is just like a normal attack. It'll do a decent amount of damage. Strike does a shit ton of damage. And magic is based on your magic damage and based on your opponent's magic defense, which is all one trait.
You're making me want to play. Maybe after this, I'm gonna try and get Dokapon Kingdom powered up on my PC, and maybe get other people to get it.
That'd be hype. And the defenders have the options of defend, they have the option of counter, they have the option of give up, and they have the option of their magic defense. Magic defense isn't always a defense. Sometimes, but like M-Guard is the main base magic defense.
Right.
That you can get really early.
They're getting into semantics.
Yeah. Not really. Anyway, counter is the anti-strike defensive option, and if they strike and you counter, you actually hit them for a lot. So that's where the rock, paper, scissors aspect comes in. But you have defend, which just defends you from strikes and attacks. But you'll still likely die to a strike, but an attack is... you'd probably live if you defended.
Right.
Oh god, that game's so good. And yeah, so you can see the rock, paper, scissors aspect to it. It's like, are you gonna attack or strike, and then magic as well.
I think you like it because it's one of the only competitive RPGs out there. And I mean, like I'm not talking MMORPGs, everybody. I'm talking about like straight up like an RPG. You're everyone is building their own singular character, and it's like it's a quote unquote fun party game.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I also like Pokemon. Pokemon's cool. Old Pokemon.
Old Pokemon is your favorite? Which one out of
like
all?
Gen
out of
4.
all Pokemon? Yep, facts.
Gen 4
Facts.
Pokemon is correct.
He's spitting straight facts.
Anyone who says there's a generation better than 4 is wrong, and either too old or too young.
True. We grew up when Gen 4 was just coming out, and that was amazing. Like Gen 3 was like just ending, and Gen 4 was like going to be the next big thing because it was on Nintendo DS.
2008, baby.
Woo!
Did Diamond come out in 2008 or 2007?
I think
Pokemon
2008.
Diamond release year. That's just giving me Pokemon Brilliant Diamond shit.
Yeah. That's alright. Are you gonna get Pokemon Diamond and Brilliant Pearl?
Oh, it's Brilliant Diamond and something else Pearl.
Shining Pearl.
I'm gonna get Brilliant Diamond.
They really should have the JoJo fan in me says they should have done Shining Diamond. Wait, it comes out in 10 days?
It does?
Shit, I didn't realize it was that quick.
Shit,
Fuck.
I need to start door dashing. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came out in 2006.
Oh,
Oh no, and NA came out April 22nd, 2007.
so it came out in 2007. Wow. It is Legends Arceus also coming out in 10 days? No. Legends Arceus is coming out in 2022.
Yeah, that's right.
That's gonna be a crazy game.
Oh, Eternals is out now. I need to
I don't
watch
know
that.
I don't.
It's a Marvel thing. It's a Marvel nerd thing. You wouldn't understand.
Okay. My favorite role playing game would either have to be Dragon Quest IX, specifically Dragon Quest IX, or the Monster Hunter franchise as a whole. Because uh, I've always enjoyed Monster Hunter, and ever since I played 3 Ultimate on the 3DS, and I've went back and I've played the other ones, and I've fallen in love with Monster Hunter. It's so cool. It's such a cool game, and I can't wait for the the PC release of Monster Hunter Rise, because that's gonna be fucking cracked. I'm gonna play this.
The Monster Hunter I played had a lot of water.
Yeah, you played the bad one. After that, they didn't do no more water. The game is obscenely fun, and I feel like you would enjoy it, D'Angelo, for the aspect that it is something that keeps your attention, but you're not bored, because it keeps your attention with all the flashy lights and big anime sounds and whatnot, but it still is a more chillax type of game, or at least for me, it's a very kind of chillax type of game where you can just sit there and play it with a friend and play it for hours, because that's what I did. I used to play that shit all the time. I don't much anymore.
Elex says that his favorite is Warframe.
And I have to say to that Monster Hunter is has some strengths and weaknesses against Warframe. The strengths being that you don't need to grind nearly as much or nearly as long for getting anything in the game, and the appeal of Monster Hunter is that you fight big monster. The appeal of Warframe is that you grind. At least that's how I have with how much that I've played it.
Or
I have
pay
enjoyed
money
it.
in Warframe.
I have enjoyed Warframe. Don't get me wrong. Warframe was it is, but I can tell you that in Warframe you do one maybe for instance, I wanted to get the Mesa Warframe. And to do that, I had to do like a whole bunch of quests to then lead up to a boss where he had a chance of dropping one of the parts that I needed to make it to a blueprint. And then when you make it into a blueprint, you have to first make you need a blueprint of the Warframe, and you need a blueprint of the parts. So then you make the parts from the blueprints, and then you take those parts and you make them into the Warframe, eating up a good 2-3 days before you actually get to play with that Warframe. In that same time in Monster Hunter, you'd be onto like a whole nother tier of monsters. You would have gotten a good decent amount of upgrades and gotten into the real nitty gritty of Monster Hunter. But from how it seems to me in Warframe, maybe I'm playing it wrong. I don't know. It's just there's no way that Monster Hunter is not grindier and takes more time than Warframe. There's no way. But anyway, my other one that I also really like is Dragon Quest IX: Sentinels of the Starry Skies. That was one of my very first real RPGs that I owned, and I thought it was the coolest thing that that you had all these different classes, all these stats, and you can make every character that it's in your party a custom character. So you get to choose what they have, you get to choose what their strengths and weaknesses are, and uh, you get to build a party that is specifically for your type of game style, and that's what was so nuts to me, and I loved it. There, there was obviously more stuff to do when the game was really like when it was first out and popular on the Nintendo. When the Nintendo eShop was still open, but it's not anymore. So a lot of the content of that, it was one of those games where now a lot of the content is kind of gone and it's harder to kind of enjoy, but I would say that it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one.
That's the one that Hero from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is from.
No,
It's not.
none of those characters. They're all from Dragon Quest, yes, but they're all from not Dragon Quest Nine. Dragon Quest Nine's whole shtick was that it had custom characters. Like you yourself was a custom character, so was everybody else in your party. But in all the other games, the characters are already established and made up for you. It wasn't like um it's not like that Dragon Quest Nine, because in that aspect you were you were you weren't given like a whole backstory of who your friends and enemies were, really not nearly as much as some of the newer ones out, uh, which they haven't really had the same charm that they had when I played them, uh, as Dragon Quest Nine did, because I'm almost certain it's because Dragon Quest Nine had so many customizable options. Literally, there was a class that was like uh there was the gladiator, which was the highest attack damage that you could do in the game. There was sage, which was like an upgraded version of a mage, and a there was like an mentalist, which was like someone who dabbled in kind of balanced both magic and damage. And the coolest thing that I loved about them was that they kind of had pseudo limit breaks called coup de grace, and those were specific to each class, and they all did something different. Like I remember the one for the minstrel was called rough and tumble, where you did like a bunch of spins and flips and shit, and it raised your evasion by a shit ton for like the next couple turns. The other one I remembered from the warrior was called critical claim, where you where you just crit. And that was kind of it. They weren't super awe-inspiring, but they were really cool to look at. And some of the concepts of them were kind of nuts. Because now I'm remembering there was one that was like a gambler, and the coup de grace was you threw a dart at a board, and it gave you like either it gave you a bunch more money or a bunch more XP, or it did a lot of damage, or it did a lot of damage to you, and it was really cool, and I really liked that game. Whew.
Epic.
Wow. So, what about your? So, it's kind of keeping with the same topic for a second longer. What about your favorite role in an RPG?
Thief. Always a thief. I love causing mischief. I love being sneaky, and I love doing things backhandedly. Therefore, a thief.
Yeah, I would say that mine is a. I was a big knight slash paladin guy, like a while ago, but now I'm starting to feel more for like the mage and the more magic arts and stuff. Because I used to be all about like knight and shining armor and big anime looking swords and shit. But now I'm kind of more a lot like a ninja, or like a
That's not
or
magic.
or a mage.
I like being a thief because I like stealing things.
What about an MMORPG like DPS, healer, tank?
Oh, for sure DPS. That's the only fun way to play.
Yeah, DPS is the only real fun one to play. I can agree with that.
Tanking is so boring.
I used to be a tank guy too, but then I switched to DPS because I felt my solution was now they die faster instead of me soaking up all the damage for other people to do it. Now I'm doing a lot of damage to because well, there's no better way to stop a guy from hitting you than to kill him before he can hit you.
True.
So that's my stance on that.
Playing a healer is so boring. Imagine being such a cuck that you're playing for another player. That's cuck material.
Well, don't clump just healers as a whole. It's the support role where they have their utilities and their buffs and healing. Because sometimes tanks and have healing too, and DPS sometimes have some sort of sustain.
Yeah, but
Not nearly as not nearly as much as like a support player would.
doing damage more epic though.
Facts, facts. This man only speaks facts. All right, on to the last topic. Actually, this time the last topic of tonight, which is since we were speaking of magic, and this whole thing was been like we talked about Arcane, we've talked about Dungeons and Dragons, RPGs, and we did a wizard duel. Now we're going to kind of keep with that same tabletop board game vibe, but mix it with magic to create the card game Magic the Gathering. So my question for you, D'Angelo, is your favorite Magic the Gathering color?
Black.
Why?
Black has all the coolest motherfucking cards. It's all about self-sacrifice. You get Thoughtseize, you get to fucking discard shit from people's hands. You got Ad Nauseum, self-sacrifice, Spoils of the Vault,
Ad
self-sacrifice.
nauseum.
Alright, you got Opposition Agent, you just fucking take people's shit. Everything about Black is cool, and Zombie Tribal, so fun. Graveyard shit, so fun. Losing life to do shit, so fun. It's just like you get value, and it's pure value, and it's not lame like blue, where you just stop everyone else from playing the game. It's not boring like green, because you're just getting a bunch of big stuff and ramping. It's red's cool. I will admit red's cool, but it just doesn't have the same like appeal. So I like red and white as well. Red and white are the other two colors I like, but they're just normal fun. Black
Yeah.
is extreme fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, D'Angelo. I'm a big red player. I love playing red and red decks. No matter what deck I build, almost every single deck I have has some sort of red in it. With my commander decks that I play, I have all of my commander decks have red in them, and I'm almost certain. I don't think there is a single one that I have that doesn't have red in it. I might be wrong. Well, I guess my group hug deck, but I took that apart. I like red for the fact that red has a lot of that big blast offensive spells, and is it's a good it's supported by a lot of different other colors, but it's not really supposed to be. I don't see it really played as much of a secondary color unless you're trying to do something different than with just the aspect of like uh storming off and going like and being mostly a spellcaster. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. That's just my opinion on the whole thing of red, where red to me is it only for me it's only really fun when it's played as your primary color, and like your secondary color is like either black, blue, green, white, even pretty much
Boros, Boros, Boros,
Boros. It's a very good color because it offers a lot, which I like, which is big spells and damage. Like I could like interrupting people and from doing stuff is fun, It gets, but it's like I'd rather explode you with the fireball that deals infinite damage. You know what I mean?
Why do that when you can deck someone out though? Uh,
Yeah, that's just
I
not
mean,
my appeal. That's not my appeal of the game. My
I
appeal of the
think
game
another
is I
thing,
like using big boom spell.
the reason I use black is the same reason I like being a thief. I like being tricky with my shit. You know, it's not being straightforward. Like being a knight or being like a red or white player or even a green player.
Boros,
It's just
Boros,
like
Boros, Boros, Boros,
red, white, or
Boros,
green is
Boros,
like
Boros,
it's
Boros,
always
Boros,
so
Boros.
straightforward, but like black is not straightforward. Like you win from very weird ways in comparison to the other colors usually.
Yeah, I see. I can see that.
Mm.
For for me, I just like the simple, big boom spell. That I'm a very simple-minded person.
Black, can we talk about how lame blue is? Fuck blue.
Yeah, let's talk about how lame blue is for a second. I
I've
look,
given in to
you,
the blue, and so have you.
I have too. I will not lie, but it doesn't mean that that I don't dislike it because it is, if not the, it is the most required thing that you will need if you want to play and win consistently um in like big group pods. Uh, but
It has the most interaction.
because blue has the most interaction, because it has that power to kind of either flicker things back to your hand, give you extra turns, let you draw a fuck ton of cards to look for answers if you don't have them already, counter spells that can just tell people that they aren't casting spells, even some stacks pieces, which for those of you who don't know, stacks is a type of game that that some Magic players find enjoyable. I don't know who. They are people who like watching the world burn, and they're not fun to play against because they just lock you out. They just lock you out for the rest of the game, and then the point is for you to concede, or at least for me it is. When you play against a stacks player, the only way that they actually beat me is if I fucking concede because I get bored by not doing anything ever. Maybe I'm just not playing the right decks, but I don't know. I That is my thought on blue. What's your what other thoughts do you have on blue, D'Angelo?
Counterspelling makes the game unfun. If I'm spending all my mana on my big 6, 7 mana combo on turn 6 or 7, I don't want to see a kid counterspelled.
Facts.
Yeah, that's my simple mindedness speaking.
That's the worst part about it because it would like it it ruins everything you're building up towards, and if you don't have the right interaction to stop that blue player, it's like what are you gonna do?
No,
It is so sad. It
react with
really
your own
is.
counterspell, bitch.
Ye- and that's what literally everyone is saying in the fucking comments. I almost guarantee it.
Just counter the stacks pieces. Bonk, just play blue. That is literally what everyone's saying.
Yeah, what a bunch of losers. We know what's up, right? Boros gang, Boros gang, Boros
We have
gang,
black
Boros gang,
gang,
Boros gang, Boros gang.
mono black
Mardu,
gang.
Mardu gang. Is that Mardu gang? Mardu is the group. The group colors white, red, and black. So D'Angelo Mardu gang.
Um, yeah. Yeah.
Mardu gang, Mardu
Mardu
gang,
gang,
Mardu
Mardu
gang,
gang,
Mardu
Mardu
gang,
gang,
Mardu
Mardu
gang,
gang.
Mardu gang, Mardu gang. All right. I think this has been a uh, pretty exciting uh, stream so far. I feel like this PB break has been nothing if not enchanting for the audience. Yes, I am going to be cringe right now, D'Angelo.
If that's what you want to call it. I'm just trying
Fuck
to eat
you.
some more food.
Well, I think that's where I'm ran out of topics. So unless you've got one more.
My last topic is why is Jackson such a beta cuck? And the answer is we'll never know. Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, we'll be back next week.
On PB break.
I can't keep doing this, man. Just shut it off.